Dr. van Jaarsveld.
Yes, is good. What comes to mind when hearing the phrase putting down roots? For most, it's about establishing a sense of home, being at home, having strong foundations and a sense of belonging. But have you ever stopped to wonder about the double meaning of the phrase putting down roots? Because we can put down roots metaphorically, and we can do so literally. I think this double meaning carries a lesson. You see, when we put down actual roots, we also establish a sense of home. Those living things that wind and grow and stretch their way deep into the earth. But let me take a step back. In this time I have with you, I want to tell you two things, a what and a how. First, I'll tell you what I think the problem is that we're facing, and then I want to tell you how we can start to fix it. So first, what is the problem I want to speak to you about? Well, it's certainly not our only problem, but it is a big one. I think there's a sense of restlessness that we're all feeling. We're always hurrying, our attention is always divided, we're spending more but seemingly enjoying less, and I think if we stopped to think about it, we'd come to realize that something was taken from us long ago. When our surroundings became more full of cement and brick and sterilized lawn than with wild earth, we slowly forgot what it meant to live in true symbiosis with the natural world. We became rootless, and we were cut off from the circle dance of life that had sustained us for eons. These days, we get told to spend more time in nature, which, yes, of course, I agree with, but the way it's meant often implies that we need to leave home and enter nature. That's somewhere out there. And so we do. We leave home, we visit, we enjoy our time, and then we come back to carry on with our lives. Now, the problem when we view nature as out there, we see ourselves as separate from it. And we forget that we used to be a part of it, and we used to be so much more involved. So, we need to get down to the root of the problem, See what I did there? So, we need to reground ourselves in an everyday sort of way. And so if this restlessness is indeed a type of rootlessness, then how, the second part, how do we start to fix it? Well, I have 3 suggestions, but let me start with a quick story. 2 years ago, I earned my PhD in philosophy, looking at the role of the environment in human flourishing. After 4 years of writing and off the back of a decade of prior studies, my thesis was almost 100,000 words long, and the final submission involved hitting send, boop, on an email. Backtrack a couple of years, and I was volunteering on organic farms in Ireland. And one misty Irish morning, I was told to go dig up the patch of ground at the back of the farm. So off I went, shovel in hand, and I'm not very practiced in manual labor, so I'm not very graceful at it. But there I was, digging, and out came potatoes. Like actual whole potatoes, covered in rich black soil. And at the end of that day, I looked down at my muddy hands and at the hole in the ground and the pile of potatoes I had gathered, and I felt more satisfied in that moment than I did when I'd hit send. You see, something happens to us deep down when we join with nature in the majesty of turning seed into plant, into food. Just ask my kids. When we partner with the earth and its living soil, we become co-creators, and that is pretty cool. So that's my first suggestion. We need to get better at putting down actual roots. We need to harvest. So much of what we produce these days is virtual, it's words on a screen. Try letting the fruits of your labor be actual fruits for a change, because trust me, it doesn't change. Hitting send doesn't change us in quite the same way. So let me ask you, when's the last time you ate something you helped to grow? And if the answer is a while ago, or better yet, never, then do yourself a favor and take this easiest of first steps. Get a seed sprouter and grow some seeds or microherbs right there on your kitchen counter. My second suggestion, own less stuff. Or more accurately, buy less stuff. We're all fed the promise that the more we buy, the happier we will be, and we all know it isn't true. At some point, decide to stop falling for it. Our homes and our minds are filled to capacity, and it isn't good for the planet or for us. Do some radical decluttering. Reclaim a sense of space. Each thing we own places a demand on us. Use me, fix me, take me out, put me away. The fewer things, the fewer demands. Lastly, try to bear witness to the cycles of nature and the wild things of the earth. Try to be an active observer rather than a passive passerby, and as you do, you'll start to see that you become more situated in the world around you. So, track the phases of the moon, notice the signs of the changing seasons, and if you live and drive through Johannesburg, I guarantee you will have seen these on any given day. Learn their names. The more we witness, truly witness, the more joy it brings, and we could all do with a little more joy. So that's the how, the H-O-W how of it. Harvest, own less stuff, witness. And as you do, I think you'll start to notice a change, slowly but surely. A better sense of groundedness, a clearer mind, and a stronger sense of connection to the earth. And that, in turn, will help fix this restless rootlessness that's endemic to our current way of life. So go put down some roots, and I hope that as you do, you'll come to feel more at home on the earth, and maybe a little bit more at home within yourself too, nourished and more fully alive. Thank you.
Thank you, Jess. Thank you, Jess.